Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another session of Python interview preparation session here in association with 360DigiTMG. So we have understood yesterday two different libraries which are helping us to do auto EDA, where all the process will take. We say that 80% of the time is only it's running behind the EDA part and doing the pre-processing, right? But sometimes, the results what automated libraries give, they are not up to the mark. So you need to cross-check, right? Sometimes, people say that there are many auto ML libraries available, like auto Keras, right? Auto sklearn, teapot, all these are also available, but it's something, without human intervention, we cannot stick totally, just leave it to the algorithm to run. Definitely bunch of algorithms are giving, they are being popped up as output. You are getting the accuracies, different evaluation metrics for every particular machine learning algorithm we are running here. But I think it's a kind of recheck is required for every algorithm. For instance, now you have a bunch of algorithms. You got one algorithm, very good accuracy. You pick it and you do it manually and check. Will it really, is working in the same way, or it is some mismatch happened, some biasing happened or not? So I feel that some kind of cross check is required for this. The same thing if we are carry forwarding here with auto EDA also. Auto EDA is giving us information because you're not doing missing value, finding out the missing values. You're not finding out the outliers. You're not doing, you're not talking about the spread. You have to do everything manually. All the charts, all the univariate plots, bivariate plots. What did we do with matplotlib, seaborn? All these are done manually. But as of now, what you have observed is all these are done with only a single line of code. That's where, everything is getting automated, right? So maybe some kind of cross check is required for us, right? So yesterday we have seen detail and auto-viz, right? For one particular data set, which was GMAT score and work experience. Okay. Now, Bharat, can you show me the output with respect to SweetWiz library, which is one of the other automated EDA libraries? Okay, you can retrieve the same data, the same
Yes,
data set.
sure, Deepti. I'll be using the same data set that we used yesterday. Let me share my screen. I'll be using Spider.
Yesterday, when I was working with one auto ML library, which was auto Veka, okay. So what happened, Bharat? The library what I got is auto Veka. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. But the what happened is when I was installing it in Collab or in my Spider, where there are advanced versions, right? So these versions, they were like version mismatch. The installation happened, but when I was trying to import them, okay, it was throwing me error that, we could not work. Some error saying that when I did some research on that, I got to know that I have to use that with 2.7 version. So I keep on saying that 2.7 is a very, very stable version, right, in the Python. The same way I could again recollect the same thing. But unfortunately, I did not again, install 2.7. I did not add it to the environment and I could not run it. It was kept on hold. So that's where, this version mismatch is biggest hurdle what we have in Python.
Correct. Now and then you have to be mindful on the version mismatch. You also need to be familiar with how to downgrade the version, how to upgrade the
Yes.
version. If there
So
is a mismatch, then it will give you a hard time in executing. Like
yeah.
Deepti said, it is one of the biggest hurdles that we have, apart from indentation errors.
Yes, it is, something that everything, it sometimes pop-up errors are coming, like, upgrade the version, right?
Right.
If you have to upgrade the version also, they give a hint. Actually, every time when you get an error, they give a hint. Upgrade it to this version 5.0. So when I was working with even network analytics, then also we got an error which is related to decorator. Right? So I was having 4.0 version, but it want 5.0 version to build a network on Facebook data. So it's not one person working behind the scenes. It is a community which is working. So upgradations are happening. More enhanced features are being added up. Things are becoming easier here. So what we feel, okay, this one has to be done manually. This one has to be done, takes time. All these are put to an end.
Here I am copying the path as well.
No, you just pull the data set first, pd.read_csv. As usual, how do you do that?
Yes,
Then I
I will
think
do
you can go with the.
I will do that. Yes.
Friends, if you all know, Jupyter Notebook would work with a browser window and it works with kernels.
Correct.
No, I'm just trying to explain few things because you're writing your code. Two to three things I feel really, like every time we need to import, every time we need to use a surname like pandas, right? This I don't know why they have inherited almost all the features from R programming, right? But in Python, that particular feature is not being updated. Don't know why. One time, if you invoke your library, you should be able to use all the functionalities in that particular library. .csv, Bharat, you missed it. Education.csv. So friends, why we say that, certain interfaces, certain IDs are very, very good, because see whatever changes are happening in the data, you want to look into them. Spider is the best. Here you are seeing it's only one page totally. You are running it, everything. But when you just what happened?
The quotes. I'll have to remove the quotes.
Okay. It's only DF. I think this SweetWiz is going to give us output in a HTML format, right?
Correct.
You have to write that line of code also again.
I will write. So HTML format, if you want to see, s.show_HTML.
Good thing that Python understands even the HTML format. Yeah. See here, friends, what a beautiful output you have here. Everything in a single line of code. More than what we got from other libraries yesterday, AutoVis and all that. If you see, you're getting what is the maximum number, you're getting 95th percentile, Q3, median, average, Q1. So it's just a 5-number summary, more than a 5-number summary. Right? You got the range, IQR, standard deviation, second business moment decisions, kurtosis, skewness, and
Yes.
sum. It even talks about the duplicates, the RAM, the storage.
Features,
Yeah.
numerical values, how much of it is a string.
And on top of it, additional thing is a plot.
Yes.
To do all this, we would have written at least 20 or 40 lines of code. First, 5 lines will go for importing the libraries.
Mm.
Then other 5 lines, 15, 20 lines will go only for this. So
Yes.
friends, see here, when you're just putting your cursor, no, Bharat just places his cursor on one particular graph, it gets enhanced in a more broader way.
Correct.
Right? So basically, when we are talking about this kurtosis, skewness, these are helping us to check whether your data are normal or not. And if you remember, friends, all of you, I told you whenever we are doing histogram, right? It does not directly give you whether you have outliers or not, but it gives you a glimpse of outliers. If you see this work experience column, right? You after 150, 200, 250, there's very, very minimal number of data points. Right? It is something that you have a very, very long tail from 150 to 300. So definitely there is some skewness. Right? We say that it is not normal. It's not a bell-shaped curve. Even if you observe for GMAT, right? There are certain outliers on the side where you have the data starting from 550 to 600. This is also not normal. Hence, you can see a skewness. It's a negative skewness. Here you are telling it as a positive skewness, right? And if you also have to move forward, kind of feature engineering you want to do, you are checking variance in a single line of code here. See, we check the variance to move forward with these inputs or not, right? We definitely have to check for the variance. Right? And anyway, yes, we have the 5-number summary, minimum value, maximum value, 95th percentile, 5th percentile, median, right? Bunch of things are given here in a single line of code. Right? That's a good thing about the auto EDA libraries. But if you remember, we also have one library which is called as data prep.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, what is that? Actually, that is also open source, right? But you have to install it, I guess, right? It's available, but you have to install that also. What is that data prep?
It can also, that is also one of the, auto EDA, data pre-processing library where you will be able to do EDA, automated EDA. Okay, so we have data prep as one of the auto EDA libraries. In fact, if you remember from our previous session, I mentioned a few auto EDAs like SweetWiz, AutoWiz, and then I also included data prep.
Detail, yes.
Detail, yes, of course. Detail and data tile, etc. So I can also show you data prep. So, okay, let me explain more about that. We know that it is a open source library that is available in Python programming, and that it will let you prepare your data using a single library. And that is possible with single line of code. In fact, not single line, I would say very little coding is required. Okay. And why do you need data prep? We need data prep to address multiple or multi-data related issues. Okay, that is there. And in addition to that, using data prep library, you can collect the data from multiple data sources using this particular thing called as data prep connector module. So what is happening is you're performing intense exploratory data analysis, using this particular dataprep.eda. That is the module that you are using, dataprep.eda. And then once you have this module in place, you can clean the data and standardize your data sets. All right.
Okay.
And in addition to this, all of it, the entire detailed profile or a report will be generated within few seconds. And again, by using, it could be single line of code or little very few lines of code is required. And the most advantageous thing is it is number of times faster than the other libraries that we are dealing with, the data preparation or the EDA, the exploratory data analysis. So I will be using, in fact, see, I prefer using the data prep as a auto EDA library. I've been using that for quite a long time and will be using it. And I would recommend our viewers to use and explore that particular library.
Okay. So that is also giving us, what we say is the same kind of information, but in a different way.
Exactly.
Right? That's what you are going to see.
That is correct.
So when you want to install it, how do you are going to install it? It's the pip pip install.
That is right.
Okay.
PIP, I will just say PIP install data prep.
Okay. So that is also one of the auto ADA libraries. Okay.
Yes.
So Bharat, why don't you just open?
Yes, I will open auto video. Let me just
You
show
just
our
open
viewers.
your no same thing. Okay, install it.
Yeah, I can show in one of the
Okay, and which data set is there already? This is there, no?
yes.
Yeah, this is more beautiful output what we get actually. That's why I want you to show, because it creates a report. Okay. But I shared one data
I can
set.
do that. I will use that.
Cars data set.
Mm-hmm.
If you have, you can download it actually. You can download the card. I think I have shared it in the chat. Just check it. Check it.
Install data prep. From data prep .eda, you are importing create underscore report. And then as usual, you are putting that in the libraries. In fact, here you have the data set and then you can use that. Okay. And then in addition to this, you should also be importing a bunch of other libraries like pandas as.
Bharat, you stop sharing. You stopped sharing your screen.
Oh, is it? See, what I did is I've installed data prep, and then once I've installed, I'm importing
There is
these.
submodule called
Correct.
Inference. Yeah.
Yes. So these modules out of it, I'm importing them. And then the pandas as usual. And then now I have a particular data set. So I'll say car is equal to p dot read underscore csv. And then so here is my data set. Okay, now I want to generate a report. I will say create underscore a report of my data frame. Okay. In addition to this, I can also do the browser. You can also see this in as a report in a separate browser also.
You just scroll up.
Yes.
It gives bunch of things than other libraries. That's a great thing about data prep.
Yes. This is what we can see.
Yeah. So friends, it is talking about the number of variables, number of rows. Are there any missing values? Are there any duplicate rows? Total size. And see, it's automatically giving it is skewed. There you got only got number. Here it's telling us it is skewed. Okay, next. So you can also have overview of the data. Correlations, Bharat. Can you click on correlation?
You have heat map, dendrograms.
I think dendrogram is not for this, but yeah, heat map makes sense.
Yeah, whichever is there, you can select. What I meant is, you
Yeah,
can look
available
at these
opportunities. Okay.
options based on your analysis and
So friends, there are various
business requirement.
calculations done for correlation, right? So
Yes.
definitely, we mostly, we stick to Pearson's correlation values,
Hmm.
right? So
See,
that
look at
you
these
have,
graphs,
yeah, three
these
different options
plots.
were there.
Hmm.
So it is talking about the skewness, it is talking about the correlation, it is talking about the normality check. I think it has given a scatter plot also.
Yes.
Well, just scroll down.
Yes, yes.
See here, it is giving a scatter plot and you can check it for a drop down box is available here to just change it. See, we say that it is a negative correlation. It's just slanting downwards. Now you can put weight and volume. Yeah, it's an ultimate graph. See here, friends, perfect a linear shape. But unfortunately, those two are inputs, which is not accepted. It's just like, you have cold, you have also have cough. Cold and cough are correlated, right? The same way weight and volume are correlated. This is how the correlated graph looks like. So how many lines of code we have written? Bharat has written within, only thing is that he has some issues with the Python because he's working with heavy libraries. Putting those things apart, only 5 minutes of code, 5 lines of code, within no time, you got a report generated. Right? So I suggest everyone to explore more EDA libraries, what we have. Right? One of the famous is your data profiling, pandas profiling. Sorry, my bad.
Pandas profiling.
Yeah, pandas profiling. Right? EDA VIZ. Detail anyway we have showed you, but the other what we are not covering, we just gave a name like pandas profiling is something what you have to explore more about it. Okay, so friends, this is something what we say is the first step whenever you pick the data using Python. Alongside, we can also say that these are all done via Excel, but up to what limit we can do it in Excel? We are calculating mean, we are calculating mode, we are calculating this, we are getting plots, visualizations, everything is fine. But to certain extent, what is happening? There are some limitations there when you are using Excel. So we are switching to this tool, which is giving wonderful results with no time. So any non-programmer, no person can say that programming is tough. Right? That is the easiest way Python is switching in. And the easiest way is allowing all the non-expertise also can work with Python. Right? We need not by heart things also. It's just one line of code we are writing here. That is also the basic English what we are speaking. Right, friends? So what are the other libraries you need to explore here? You have to go for pandas profiling. You need to talk about more about KLIB, PDML, and EDA VIZ. Data tile also. So there are a bunch of libraries. Every library has its own pros and cons. But what, as I just told you initially also, we need to cross-check. So once you understand the problems with the data via this EDA, you have got a normality check, you have got the skewness. So there are certain, the data which is now raw format data, you got certain information. Now this cannot be used for next level of, analysis. So being a data analyst, whatever you're working with the historic data. That is nothing but your present and the past data. But alongside now, when you want to pass it over to a data scientist, where they are doing miracles with the data, they are like babas, right? They are telling the future. What is going to happen here? So when you talk about this, to hand it over to data scientists, data analysts also should do some pre-processing. Right? This is the raw data they cannot take. See, as I told you, weight and volume are there in your data, they are correlated. You need to counter this, why that happened. So that's where you talk about features. That's where we talk about feature engineering. Right? Now, the other way, you have got skewness. Right? That is one problem what we detected with the horsepower here in the data. So what you have to do, you have to counter it. You have to solve it, and you cannot directly dump that in, pass it over to data scientist. You do this. Whatever are there, you need to give a cleansed data to the data scientist so that he can do predictions in a better way. Ultimately, you are the people who are going to help, the organizations to make profits. They're spending so much only to make profits, right? So pre-processing is something which is again more time-taking process. But unfortunately, we don't have any auto pre-processing techniques yet, right? We have to do everything manually only. Like auto EDA, maybe next 6 months we could get to see something like that. We have auto ML, we have auto EDA, we are stuck in between for pre-processing, where 80% of the time is eaten away by only this pre-processing. Right, friends, let's continue the same discussion tomorrow with more set of questions. But please explore auto EDA libraries, which is reducing the time, right? That is more important. So you are directly getting a lot of information from that. You can jump into pre-processing rather than spending time with EDA only. So EDA is nothing but you need to calculate the averages, what is the average data, how is the spread of the data, are there any missing values, are there any outliers, right? Whether I would talk about the skewness, talk about the normality, right? All these are important tasks what we will do. Okay. Okay, friends, that's it for today. And yeah, please explore more on auto EDA libraries. Happy learning. Thank you all for
Thank you,
joining in.
everyone. Happy
Thanks,
learning.
Bharat. Yeah. Bye. Bye, everyone.